Well, it's time now for Flashback, a recap of stories that made headlines during the week. We'll begin on Monday with President Bola Tinubu's approval for the remaining of 15 of the country's airports after the immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari and other prominent Nigerians. According to a statement, the president took the initiative as part of ongoing reforms on the aviation industry. The Maiduguri airport was renamed after the immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari in honor of his service to the nation. Likewise, the Port Harcourt airport now bears the name of the late nationalist Obafemi Awolowo, recognizing his significant role in shaping Nigeria's history. In addition, the Nasarawa airport has been immortalized with the name of Usman Dan Fodio, the renowned founder of the Sokoto Caliphate. And this gesture acknowledges his profound influence on the region and the country as a whole. Well, on that same day, Nuhu Ribadu assumed office as a national security advisor to the president, and he reaffirmed the president's mandate of securing lives and property. The new NSA said there is no better time to take on the security challenges in the country than now.
A change of baton at the office of the National Security Advisor. Nuhu Ribadu formally assumes the role of National Security Advisor, taking over office from Major General Babagana Monguno, retired.
In giving gratitude to the Almighty God for enabling me to serve for such a long time and also allowing me to depart in good health so that I can enjoy the rest of my days in an atmosphere that is bereft of the type of tension, the type of pressures that are associated with this all-important office. I'm also wishing, in the same vein, that Nuhu Ribadu will have a very, very successful tenure.
We are coming in here. We will look at what has been done and build on it. A lot has been done so far. I belong to this profession. I belong to this sector. I've been a keen follower of things. I know how things have improved in our country in the last 8 years.
The NSA understands the enormity of the task before him, especially the evolving threats in the country. But he reaffirms the president's mandate on security.
We will stabilize this country. We will secure our country. We will make Nigeria peaceful. There is no any other way of approaching it. It has to be so. We believe time has come for this country to enjoy peace.
In the coming weeks, the NSA is expected to unveil an inclusive strategy for stabilizing the security of the country.
And still in the week under review, the President Bola Tinubu arrived in Nigeria on Tuesday after his one-week working visit to France for the Paris Global Financial Summit and a private visit to London. Upon the president's arrival at the presidential wing of MMIA, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Chief of Staff to the President Femi Gbajabiamila, Acting Inspector General of Police Olukayode Egbetokun, National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, senators and representatives from Lagos State, as well as party officials, warmly received President Tinubu. This was the first visit of President Bola Tinubu to his home state, Lagos, after the presidential inauguration on May the 29th. He was in Lagos to celebrate Salah festivities. And still on Tuesday, the Chief of Defense Staff, Maj General Christopher Musa, led service chiefs on a familiarization visit to the Ministry of Defense. And during the tour of the ministry, Maj General Musa said efforts will be made to fulfill the mandate of the president to ensure peace returns to the country. The CDS noted that security challenges have far-reaching consequences and will not be allowed to fester in Nigeria.
We assure you all that we're here and we're committed to ensure that we achieve the mandate of the president. We all know the challenges facing the country, all true. We have been saddled with the responsibility to face those challenges and provide solutions. And we assure you that we'll put in our very best. Our loyalty is no other way than to Nigeria. And we want to ensure that our children also benefit a country that they will be proud of. We assure this Commander-in-Chief of our complete loyalty.
Really, at this moment, I have to say that you are starting on a very good note. Good note because the President has made it very clear his mandate and what he wants to achieve from his campaign up to post-election period. And therefore, on behalf of the Ministry of Defense, while welcoming you into the inner caucus of the ministry, you've been part and parcel of this ministry from the outset. You've been GOCs, you've been commanders in various fields. Therefore, the ministry is not new to you, but in this your new position.
Let's flash back to Wednesday, where here in Lagos, the President Bola Tinubu joined other Muslim faithful to observe the Eid-el-Kabir prayer in his home state. This was the first feast of sacrifice Bola Tinubu celebrated as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
It's watertight security at the Eid prayer ground of State House Annex, Dadodon Barracks, Lagos. This is a homecoming for President Bola Tinubu, who joined dignitaries and other Muslim faithful to observe the Eid prayer. This is the first Eid that Bola Tinubu will be celebrating as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Chief Imam of Lagos State, Sheikh Sulaiman Abu Nola, led the Eid prayer.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Bana lakal hamd. What is the significance of it? Why is it so important? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, turn in your prayer to your Lord and sacrifice. Part of it is that attaining closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
The state's Deputy Governor, Obafemi Hamzat, and the President's Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, used the occasion to appreciate Nigerians for their support to President Tinubu and urged them to imbibe the spirit of patriotism. In his Eid-el-Kabir message, President Tinubu said Nigerians should have faith in the country and themselves.
No religious identity. No tribal identity. Live with one another in joy and prosperity. It will come. Nigeria will see peace, stability, and God will grant peace to those of us who are in the war front. Have faith.
The slaughtering of ram at the Eid crown by the Chief Imam is in commemoration of Prophet Ibrahim's alayhi salam readiness to sacrifice his son to show obedience to Allah.
And on the same day, Zamfara state government denied stories making rounds that it had begun negotiation with armed bandits to lay down arms as a way of restoring peace in communities and highways bedeviled with insecurity. The government insisted that despite the pressure, it has what it takes to collaborate with security agents to bring the situation under control. Secretary to the state government, Abubakar Nakwada, disclosed this while addressing newsmen in Gusau, the state capital. The governor's administration, which assumed office in May this year, restated its readiness alongside security agencies to confront and deal with the enemies of peace at all levels.
The state government under the able leadership of Dr. Dauda Lawal Dari has no plan whatsoever to reconcile and or have any discussion with any bandit, any criminal, any pocket thief. Ours is to pursue them wherever they are and arrest them or do whatever that is legally enforceable. Yes, no plan whatsoever to reconcile with any criminal.
President Bola Tinubu was hosted to a reception on Thursday by Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and in his remarks at the event, the president admitted that the country is facing a challenging time. He further emphasized that he is taking decisive steps to stop the bleeding of the country's finances.
The reception is a double celebration. First, to mark Eid-el-Kabir and also to welcome President Tinubu back home after being sworn in as the president. Former state governors and current senators led by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, members of the House of Representatives, among other APC party chieftains, are present.
Your leadership style inspires all of us, and we hope that indeed that greatness that you converse for us will happen in our lifetime. We see a leader who believes in the potential of this great nation, who works tirelessly to unlock the potential.
For the fact that you got the leadership of the National Assembly right, we are here across party lines to assure you that you end well.
Many of the laws you first passed here have been adopted by those who even disliked you. And the question to Nigerians then was that, why are we hiding behind a finger? If we are adopting what has been successful, let us embrace it at the national stage.
Speaking on the petroleum subsidy removal, President Tinubu explained the need to take the bold step.
You can't afford to be Father Christmas to neighboring countries. We can't just afford the petroleum subsidy. And then the foreign exchange. Yes, I could have stayed to say I want to share of my benefit and participate in the arbitrage. But God forbid, no, that's not why you elected me.
The president also called on Nigerians to come together and rescue the country. The sight of former governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, is not one to ignore, as president acknowledged.
And I'm glad to see Ambode. Thank you, Akin. Very good.
Thursday, June 29th, marks exactly 30 days that President Bola Tinubu was sworn in as the 16th President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And still on Thursday, in the spirit of the Salah festivity, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Hassan Abubakar, alongside the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Tawarid Lagbaja, charged troops, the Nigerian Air Force and Army, to be steadfast in their duties in protecting the country's territorial integrity. They gave the charge in Maiduguri while celebrating this year's Eid-el-Kabir. The service chiefs promised to give the troops all the necessary support to see the 13-year protracted conflict become a thing of the past.
I want to also commend the high level of synergy between the services as well as other security agencies in the various theaters of operation. The fighting capability of the Nigerian Air Force across all the theaters of operations is being strengthened by the federal government.
And I want to assure you of the continued support and the cooperation of not only the Army headquarters, but formations and units and every establishment of the Nigerian Army, because together we are in this, and I know standing tall together we will achieve the success.
And still in the week under review, the back and forth between the Academic Staff Union of Universities and the National Universities Commission made headlines. ASUU on Friday rejected the core curriculum minimum academic standards prepared by the Universities Commission. The union said the document is a threat to quality university education and an erosion of powers of the University Senate in Nigerian universities. A statement signed by the national president of ASUU explained that it was incomprehensible that the NUC pre-packaged 70% CCMAS contents were being imposed by the Nigerian university system. The union added that university senates, who are statutorily responsible for academic program development, were left to work on only 30%. And ASUU further stressed that there are growing concerns about the numerous shortcomings and gross inadequacies of the core curriculum minimum academic standards documents. And on that same day, the federal government announced it will discontinue budgetary allocations to professional bodies and councils effective 31st of December 2026. In a memo to one of the affected councils dated June the 26th of this year, the Budget Office of the Federation said the move was in line with the decision of the Presidential Committee on Salaries at its 13th meeting. The memo in circulation was signed by the Director General of the Budget Office of Federation, Ben Akabweze. Funding will be stopped for at least 30 of the professional bodies and councils by December 2024, while budgetary allocations would be stopped for other bodies by December 2026. Some of the bodies and councils listed include Nigerian Press Council, Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, Veterinary Council of Nigeria, Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Council for the Regulation of Freight Forwarding in Nigeria, Council of Nigerian Mining Engineers and Geosciences, Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, Health Records Registration Board, Nursing and Midwifery Council, Pharmacist Council of Nigeria, among others. And finally, in the week under review, the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, formally retired from service following a polling-out ceremony at the Mogadishu cantonment. In his valedictory speech, the retired general said that providing security for a diverse country like Nigeria isn't an easy task. He said the country owes a debt of gratitude to men and women who serve in the armed forces. General Irabo expressed satisfaction with his service in the military and said he left the armed forces bigger and stronger than he met it. General Irabo was appointed as the Chief of Defense Staff by former President Muhammadu Buhari in 2021, replacing General Abayomi Olunishakin.
Security for a large and diverse country like Nigeria is not an easy task, but it is also not an impossible one. In early 2021, the security situation of the nation was admittedly in a state of dynamic flux. Efforts made by the federal government of Nigeria using the armed forces of Nigeria in collaboration with the Nigerian police force, other security agencies, and critical stakeholders were in different stages of gestation. No doubt, the debt we owe to the men and women who have served in the armed forces is one that we will never be able to repay adequately. They sacrifice so much of themselves to defend our nation and its ideals, and they ask for so little in return. Like every other citizen, I wish Mr. President and all who will labor with him Godspeed.